Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. You can call me Pajama Grandma. I know we've met, so I'm not going to say in case we haven't met, but I want to talk about automation today. I also want to do a quick review of what we've covered lately, just so we keep up to speed. Today is day 20 of our Supersize Your Business Challenge. And over the last week or so, we have talked about what sucks in our business, what's not working, and that led us to what is the most important thing we can do right now to supersize our business, to move that needle from where we are now to where we want to be. And then we talked about what are some of the possible strategies we can use to supersize our business. We picked the best one for us right now because sometimes our strategies change over time. But what is the thing that we need to do right now to really help us to supersize our business? And then as part of that, we started to dig into how do we actually apply that strategy to our business? What are the steps in that process of applying that strategy, which is a process in and of itself? So we talked about the process. We wrote it down. Then we started to look at that process and say, what's missing? What could be better? What holes are in this process? What is repetitive that we don't have to do 5 times? What's redundant? Let's get those out of there. Let's optimize this process. And that led us to today, where we're going to talk about in detail, and this is one of my biggest favorite subjects in the whole wide world, so I'm going to try to keep it brief and just do a big picture overview of it. But how are we going to automate? Maybe we can't automate the whole process, but how can we automate parts of that process to give us the results that we want? Because we never want to automate a process, and if the process of automating the step in the process doesn't give us the same or better results, we're not going to automate it. So for example, in the Italian food manufacturing business, we had a process where we would crimp or smash together the ravioli, and that would seal all the sides around the filling. So you had 2 pieces of dough, and then it would be crimped around the sides to make sure that when we cooked them, we cut them apart to cook them out of the forms. I do have a form here. Yay! Sometimes I have stuff by me that I don't even know. So we would fill these forms. We'd put a sheet of pasta down, put balls in the middle of the flavored ravioli, then we put another sheet of pasta down, then we would hand roll with rolling pins the sheets to crimp them together so that we could cut the ravioli apart, because then we would cut them apart, and then we would put them in a cooker and we would cook them. Well, if you didn't crimp them and make sure all the sides were sealed, what would happen is you'd get holes in them. They would bubble up when you cooked them, and then they would make splitters, which normally people ate because they were delicious, but we didn't want to always eat the splitters because sometimes we would have hundreds of them when we did the rolling pins. So to automate that process, we found a piece of equipment. It was one of these giant dough presses. Since I was in the bakery industry, I knew there was such a thing. So we would use a dough press, and we could put the form in, but it would only fit in part way. So we'd put it in one way, and then we'd push down on this dough press, which was still hard and gave us strong arms, but it wasn't as bad or as hard as rolling pin. Then we would turn it around, stick it in again, and we would push it down again, and then we would dust it off and we could cut them apart. Now that improved our quality a little bit. We didn't have quite as many splitters, but down the road, my husband and I and another mechanic got together, and we designed a piece of equipment that made it possible for us to actually put in 2 of these forms at the same time, push a hydraulic button, and it would bring 2 plates together, and it would smash them, and it would actually crimp 2 full plates of these at the same time. Now, that actually maintained the handmade integrity of our product, but it also did a better job of crimping consistently around the whole form. So when we cut them apart, we had almost no splitters, which is incredible. And it made us so much more efficient, and what we were doing so much more effective. So that's an example of automation that actually improved the quality of our product. That's the kind of automation we want, either that maintains or improves the quality of our output. Some things we can automate, some things we can't. So as you're looking at what should be automated and what shouldn't, you have to say, can I even automate this part of the process? For example, what I'm doing through this exercise with everyone as we're supersizing our business, I'm supersizing mine too. And the process that I'm looking at is how I use content to attract people to my business, my personal business. And one of the things I do is I make videos to create content every day. Well, I can automate pieces of it, but I can't automate my face and me talking on my videos. I can't automate that piece of the process. but I can automate a whole lot of stuff around creating that content. I use my cell phone. That's a tool. I use my computer or my laptop. That is a tool. I use software like IGTV or Instagram, Facebook. This is a Facebook Live. I use, well, I think we all know that. I use YouTube. And then I use a bunch of software tools as I'm in different social media platforms to share that information on automatically when I produce it. So when I take this and I share it to YouTube, and I won't, not this one, but when I take a video and I share it to YouTube, now I can send that to 7 or 8 different places simultaneously, or well, one at a time, but really, really quickly and easily. So that's part of automating the process around something that isn't really something I can automate. So today, your action step is to look at the process that you optimized yesterday. Remember, we're never going to automate a process that isn't optimized. Now, that doesn't take away from continually improving our processes. That's a topic for a couple days from now. But it does mean we're going to optimize first and then automate what we can of a process. So look at your process. Look at the process that you optimize. Are there pieces of that process? Are there steps in that process that you can automate? And you're going to look for equipment or tools or strategies or software that you can use to put some of those repetitive tasks on autopilot and automate them. Again, tools and software are going to be your biggest places to find things. And tools might be something as simple as a form. It might be something as simple as a magnifying glass. That tool might help you to automate a process that was hard to do before. And remember, we can't necessarily automate the entire process, although nowadays, as I've gone from brick and mortar world to the online world, I realize how many things in the online world are almost 100% automatable. Here's another example. I can take the video that I have to make because I have to make it, it's my face, but I can outsource, and that's tomorrow's topic, precursor to tomorrow's topic, but I can send that to a service that can actually transcribe my voice. Then I could link that to automatically through a program called Zapier to another service that can actually edit that text, and then another service that can zap it back to me. There's all kinds of ways to automate these things. And it's really exciting and really fun. But if I keep giving examples, I will never stop. So look at your optimized process and see, how can I take pieces of this and make them better? How can I create habits like we do for our personal life in my organization to always give me better, more consistent results? Because we always want the results to be better, never worse. That's why we optimize the process first. So that's it. Have a fantastic day. I'm going to obviously talk to you tomorrow about delegating, and then the day after that, we're going to talk about outsourcing. So I kind of let the cat out of the bag about the process and what we do in what order. But that's all right, because we're all about learning the process of supersizing our business. So go out, supersize your business, and don't forget to be awesome today, because it's Monday, and every Monday I like to yell, I feel awesome. So I want you to have an awesome day too. See you tomorrow. Pajama Grandma out.